What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com, and oh boy, you're gonna love this video. I got a twofer for you. I'm gonna put two huge stories into one video. The first story I'm gonna talk about is that due to drastic sorry sales and them losing over $27 billion since March, since the boycott and the protest, because of them basically putting Dylan Mulvaney's ugly mug on their can and having him be the spokesperson. They have now had to resort to closing some glass bottling plants. So we're going to talk about that first, but then it gets even better. The second story I'm going to talk about in this video is that the shareholders and the executives, along with the board of directors, want the CEO to step down. Ooh. Let me tell you something. This has been probably the most successful boycott I have seen, that not only has caused, I guess you could say, CEO regime change, but it has cost the company so much money that now people who have invested in the company are like, okay, we're tired of this. You know what I'm saying? They were not happy with how the CEO responded on CBS with that interview. They did not like how he avoided it and just basically would not say, yes, we're sorry. We should have never had Dylan Mulvaney. We should have never gave him that can with his ugly mug on it. We are sorry. Baby, please come back. Baby, please come back. So let's go ahead and get this one first, because let me tell you something. This is some juicy tea. Bud Light sales drop forces glass plant to cut production. We have a video here which we're going to watch, but let me just read these first two paragraphs. New documents obtained by WRAL show a drop in Bud Light sales forced the glass plant in Wilson to cut down bottle production starting in May. With Bud Light's huge drop in sales last week, the plant's owner, the WRAL, I don't know how to pronounce that. Can you guys teach me how to pronounce this word? ARDAGH Group announced it would be shutting down the factory in mid-July, laying off close to 400 employees. Ouch. So let's go ahead and watch this video that talks more about it in detail.
New documents obtained by WRAL show a drop in Bud Light sales forced a glass plant in Wilson to cut down bottle production starting in May. Last week, the plant's owner, the WRAL Group, announced it would be shutting down the factory, laying off close to 400 employees. Some of those workers tell WRAL the plant manager blamed the shutdown and layoffs on the Bud Light boycott. WRAL's Keenan Willard shares their concerns.
At an all-hands meeting here at the Wilson glass plant, employees say they were told by plant leadership why WRAL was laying them off. Their biggest client, Bud Light, had seen a huge drop in revenue since April, and the company no longer needed these bottles.
Nearly 400 jobs eliminated. That's the impact of the WRAL Group glass plant in Wilson shutting its doors in mid-July. In a statement last Thursday, the company told the Ruston Leader in Louisiana that the Wilson plant is closing, along with the Ruston plant, which employs 245 people. The statement doesn't identify a specific reason for the closures, only calling them part of a multi-year performance optimization program.
We've had a couple machines down. It was, of course, being pointed towards the Bud Light situation.
WRAL obtained an internal memo from the Wilson plant manager dated May 18th. It says due to slow sales with Anheuser InBev, 2 of the factory's production lines would be shutting down. Multiple longtime employees at the Wilson plant say the majority of their business was making bottles for Budweiser and Bud Light.
Wow.
Industry data shows Bud Light sales fell 24% during the month of May after a nationwide boycott over the brand's partnership with a transgender influencer. At a meeting at the Wilson glass plant last Wednesday, employees say the plant manager told them that boycott was forcing them to shut down.
Because of lack of business and with Budweiser not selling the bottle, that they no longer needed our product.
Some workers feel there are other issues at play.
Personally, I don't believe it's all a Bud Light thing. I believe it's the industry itself.
In a February earnings call before the Bud Light controversy, WRAL CEO said fourth quarter earnings in Europe and Africa were up 110% compared to the year before. while North America saw a 9% drop in shipments and falling revenue. The CEO said Ardagh would be closing some plants in the near future.
Following completion of the turnaround program, we will operate a lower number of furnaces than at present.
Employees at the Wilson plant say their union is negotiating a severance package from management. But for many, this was their second plant closed by Ardagh in the past decade, and they don't know where they'll find another good-paying union job.
They're descendants of, family that's also worked in the industry. Not only are you killing an employee's job, you're killing his family, his chances at sending his kids to college.
Keenan Willard, WRAL News, Wilson County.
Over the past week,
And they did you all did all of that just to go woke, just to be behind a female impersonator. I just want you to understand, this is a man who likes to impersonate a woman. He is not liked by anyone who's not on the woke side or the alphabet side. And so now you got families who've been there, probably a legacy thing going on over there too, where you probably had the father, now you got the son working up there. And now all of that is destroyed over an idiot. And I'm talking about the CEO, because the CEO did not just come in to say, we made a mistake. What can we do to make it better? He definitely needs to step down. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Let's see what the rest of this says.
WRAL has reached out to the Ardagh Group's corporate office, the Wilson plant manager and HR manager for a response to their employees' concerns. We have not heard back. InBev's CEO said last month the sales drop was impacting frontline workers. He added that the company has even given financial support to frontline teams and wholesalers. It wasn't clear if that included suppliers such as Ardagh.
Yeah, I talked about that the special aid that they were giving to the frontliners. So let's get to this part right here where they're asking the CEO to step down, and he's going to do it. He's going to have to do it. They are not happy. So let's go ahead and read this. Former Anheuser-Busch executive urges current CEO to step down after Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. He's failed. That's his quote. Former president of Anheuser-Busch Sales and Distribution Company, Anzon Anzon Freericks, urged the current CEO of the beer company, Brandon Whitworth, to step down from his position for how he had botched and continued to botch the Bud Light situation involving trans person Dylan Mulvaney. I refuse to say that word. In a column for the Daily Mail, Fredericks claimed that Whitworth needs to leave before doing more damage to the brand that has already lost billions of dollars in market value, $27 billion to be exact. Okay, all of this happened in the wake of Anheuser-Busch brand Bud Light making the trans influencer one of the spokesperson in April. Fredericks accused Whitworth of botching multiple opportunities to right his company's ship in the wake of the boycott, and claimed it would be better for the company's shareholders to compel him to leave rather than stay, and offer more bland, bland responses to Anheuser-Busch's current PR crisis. Fredericks declared Whitworth has clearly shown himself to be incapable of solving the Mulvaney crisis. He's had multiple chances and he's failed. Zero. Get him out of here. You don't know what he's doing. The pieces begin with Fredericks noting that monetary loss suffered by the former company in the wake of the Mulvaney partnership. Quote, after all, the beer company's decision to make trans activist Dylan Mulvaney the face of Bud Light has cost a staggering $27 billion. Come on, y'all. You should get this together. And counting. In lost market cap value, he wrote. He mentioned how Mulvaney blasted the beer brand earlier this week in an Instagram post. In that clip, the trans influencer ripped Bud Light for not showing enough support for Mulvaney amidst the backlash. Frederick claimed, quote, Mulvaney did something Woodworth should have had the wisdom to do weeks ago. Cut ties, baby! Yo, we should have got rid of that crazy person in the first place. Should have never partnered with him. Should have never listened to that whamming with her woke self. All right. The former executive mentioned that Woodward's response to Mulvaney, quote, was predictably weak and indecisive, and claimed his statement that the company will focus on what we do best, brewing great beer for everyone and earning our place in moments that matter to our customers. What mattered was you guys get rid of this idiot and say, we so sorry, we'll never do that again. Our bad. But no, you wanted to act like it never happened, and you try to do that Jedi mind trick. These are not the trans spokesperson you're looking for. Okay, absolutely nothing. Frederick added, quote, and it will only deepen the chasm between the brand and its customers. The former Anheuser-Busch executive then declared, quote, as such, and I take no pleasure in passing this judgment, it is clear to me that it's time for the shareholders and board of Anheuser-Busch to ask Woodward to step down. Yes, you got to go, baby. You got to get out of here. You too woke. He claimed it was necessary to hold the CEO accountable because his business decisions are now impacting other people whose livelihood his livelihood depends on the success of the brand. Look at this ugly thing. How could you think? Why would you think this was a good idea? Like, none of this says beer. None of this says, ooh, I'm going to go get me some beer. I don't even drink beer. Beer is very nasty, so I wouldn't even... Ugh. But if I did drink beer, this would not entice me, and I'm a whamming. Quote, so I write this with a heavy heart, not out of spite, but because it's important for Americans to understand how and why corporate leaders can bungle the management of once iconic American brand so badly, sacrificing countless jobs and invested assets in the process. Fredericks, I want to call him Frankfurt so bad. Fredericks then went through the timeline of the ongoing Mulvaney Bud Light controversy, criticizing Woodward's attempt to solve the issue throughout. For example, he stated on April the 14th, wow, he is going back, okay? Because this started in this started in March. So he's going all the way to April. For example, he stated on April the 14th, Woodward made his first attempt to addressing plunging sales with a flat corporate response that neither mentioned the specific controversy nor apologized for it. Instead of helping, it made things even worse, inflaming both the customers who wanted an apology for the campaign and those who were sympathetic to Mulvaney and wanted to see the company defend the influencer. Yeah, but they're not your main customer base. They're not your main customer base. So what you should apologize and then just abandon Dylan Mulvaney. The former Anheuser-Busch leader also trashed both of responses Woodward made in June. I didn't know he made two in June. I'm learning as I'm reading, honey. Of the one Woodward made on June the 16th, he wrote, quote, but this statement, as bland as the first, only announced additional investments in Bud Light's summer marketing campaign, support for frontline employees, and a few weak platitudes telling consumers, we hear you, and here's to the future with more cheers. Ooh. This is some delicious tea. Okay, Fredericks noted that that after the statements, Bud Light subsequently experienced its worst weekly sale numbers since the Mulvaney partnership. I'm sorry, I'm here for this. I love this. Okay, let's see. He then detailed the remarks the CEO gave in a June the 28th interview on CBS Mornings, saying, quote, he made his first public appearance since the debacle on CBS Morning News, where he was twice, two times asked by hosts if he would send the can to Mulvaney again, or if he had been if it had been a mistake. It was a softball question. He should have belted it out of the park. Fredericks added, quote, yet both times he deflected with a clearly rehearsed and evasive answer. Yeah, he never did answer that. He should have said, of course it was a mistake. We were stupid. We're so sorry. Please come back. We wouldn't send that can again. Okay, well, this is actually good. So it looks like they're like, yeah, we wrong. We went woke, but we're not trying to go broke. He summarized that Woodworth gave such answers because, quote, he's been paralyzed by corporate America's forced adoption of stakeholders capitalism, which preaches the companies about why they must serve activists, politicians, non-governmental organizations, and all manner of interests. Anyone really apart from the shareholders and customers. Them activists will get you every time. Activists will get you broke every time. Okay, so here's the last paragraph. He then concluded, quote, Woodworth has clearly shown himself to be incapable of solving the Mulvaney crisis. He's had multiple chances and he's failed. It's time he did the right thing and stepped aside to make way for someone capable of righting the sinking Bud Light ship. Fox News Digital reached out to Bud Light for response to Fredericks' criticism and is waiting for a response. Girl, you ain't gonna get that response. What y'all talking about? Y'all are not gonna get that response. Wow. So here's my prediction, and I want to know your prediction in the comments below. Let me know what you think is going to happen. There's nothing you can do about the plant. The glass bottling plants are just going to close down, and I don't think they're going to reopen again until the sales go back to where they used to be. That's going to take some time. That's going to take a lot of time right now because the trust is gone. They will make this current CEO step down. That is definitely going to happen. He's going to resign. They're going to put somebody in there who's going to apologize for everything. They're probably going to get a bodybuilder or somebody from the country musical festival, or somebody who's in the country music. Get a rugged man to make up for, having this daggone idiot as the spokesperson. And yeah, they're just going to say, yeah, we're man again. You know what I'm saying? Wham and two and this, that, and the other. So the CEO is definitely going to step down. I think that when that happens, they're going to make an apology because they realize that the community that Dylan represents is not the majority of their sales. It's just like tiny fraction of their customer base. So why cater to these people and you're losing all this money? You lost $27 billion so far. Clearly, his base are not the ones that are making you guys rich or the shareholders happy. So I think that they realize they're looking at the numbers. They're looking at how this boycott has been very effective. I would have to say, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section. I'm willing to say that this is probably one of the most effective and most successful boycotts ever that the Republicans and the centrists joined together has ever had. And I don't know, maybe a couple of people on the left who just, not here for the whole wokeness. I don't think that's many of them, so I'm not going to count them. But yeah, this was a very, very successful boycott. And I do believe they'll get back together once they, basically get rid of the CEO. They apologize, go ahead and make the woke crowd mad, along with the alphabet community mad, and then just go back to how things used to be. I could be wrong. I would love to know what you think's going to happen. So I want you to tell me in the comments section, because I want to read what you got to say. Now, if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later, taters.